Hi guys, so over the past few years I've definitely improved in my painting skills and techniques and obviously trying out a whole load of new things. So like you guys, yeah, I like to go through YouTube and basically watch other YouTubers or painters of all kinds of levels to see what they're doing. And something I've recently seen is some of them have ditched the dry brushing. I've got my little nibbly knobbly bits dry brush here. Yeah, they've ditched that in favour of using a makeup sponge. And well, I've never done this before, so say best thing to try is well, try everything. If you see something, give it a go. If you like it, great. If you don't, then well, you don't use it. So that's what I'm going to try in this video. But this is obviously the end result. Let's see how well we got there. So as always, yeah, need to find a miniature to paint, and I really like the look of this guy. Obviously, I love my orcs, and yeah, the Hulk. Well, he's not far off looking like an orc, so that's who I've started with. So I'm printing out on the Halo X1. You'll see me using this quite a lot over the last sort of few months. Obviously, a couple of unique features about this. One is obviously the build plate doesn't come down, but all the other gubbins go up. And the other thing I really love about this, and that is the flappy paddles, which we use to remove the models. But something I've not really spoke about much with the Halo X1, and that is the fact that it comes with its own software, which is really easy to use. Obviously, it's online, it's free. But yeah, this software, very easy to use. Something I've not really done much of it, and that is using supports. So I wanted to show you just how good the support system is on this. This is the first time I've actually done the supports on this, but you'll see why I'm so well excited about how well this came out. So typically I do like to get miniatures that are pre-supported, but in this case, yeah, no supports here. So I'm using the automatic supports system here in the software. It is a case of well, clicking a button and letting it do its thing. So it did its stuff, and obviously this is what it's come up with. And I'll have to admit, when I first saw these supports, yeah, I was a little bit concerned because there didn't seem to be many. Yeah, they're just here and there, and say this whole side here has no supports whatsoever. But again, this is where it's a case of trusting the process and giving it a go. But say for me, looking at that large area, I was almost inclined to put in some of my own supports. I thought, no, let's leave it to this machine. It knows what it's doing. And yeah, so I did. So that whole area there, unsupported, and printing it out. So a few hours later, and this is what we've got. And yeah, he has come out perfectly. So everything looks awesome. So the supports have worked really well. And this area here that obviously I was concerned about, yeah, that has come out perfectly too. So yeah, I would say the support system for the Halo X1, yeah, it's worked perfectly. So here's the flappy paddles. Obviously I should be wearing gloves because you can see there's a little bit of resin on the top. And with these, it's a case of, well, you just give them a little twisty foo and bosh, the thing falls off. No more scraping or worrying or that kind of stuff. So I have washed this and cured it. Normally I would wash it, take the supports off, and then cure it. But as I want to sort of show it, looking how it is. So that was me just sort of saying this thing is solid. It's heavy. I didn't hollow it out in any way. So yes, the fact that these supports have worked so well, so especially for that area that didn't have any, considering this is he is chunky, chunky and heavy, but obviously come out perfectly. So yeah, support system definitely got a big tick, 10 out of 10. So quickly printed out a little base just to go with him, just to make it easier to hold him, well, and to sort of display him. I absolutely love the detail in this chap as well. So this is just using the normal resin for the Halo X1. And yeah, print quality is absolutely awesome. So as you can see, I primed him in this lovely purple color by the Color Forge. So again, trying different things every now and then, rather than doing a black prime and a white dry brush. Yeah, I like to mix it up every now and then. And I've always been told purple underneath green goes really well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So as I say, rather than using the dry brush, we're going to have a go at using, well, some makeup brushes. So I went on Amazon, got some good old cheap ones because, well, I don't use makeup and I'm not going to spend a lot of money on them. So yeah, Drybrush. Well, you're retired for the moment. Obviously, we'll see though. And yeah, we're going to use these makeup tools. Oh, obviously the dry brush wants to get back in on the action. No, we're going to use these. Say every now and then it is fun to try new techniques, new things, just because, well, you never know if they're going to improve your painting or make it even more enjoyable or not. So yeah, it's always worth trying these things, just because you never know. So yeah, I'm going to be showing the colours on the screen, guys. I'm not going to mention them, but obviously you can just pause the screen, see exactly what colours I've got. So from what I've seen, obviously, yeah, load the makeup sort of sponge with paint. Then try and get as much off, because obviously you don't want too much on there, because we are kind of well, just doing a bit of highlighting here, really, or is it undercoating? I always forget what this term's called. I know it's grizzle, slap chop, and well, any number of other sort of names you may want to call it. But I think is it underpainting, undershadowing? Yeah, this is guys. This is where my memory is shocking. Although luckily my memory's always been bad. So it's just a case of going round. As you can see though, some areas are definitely getting hit with more paint, and some areas, well, they're hardly getting any coverage. And I really am having to sort of like push hard to get any paint to come off of this sponge. So I'll have to admit, yeah, when I was doing this, plus it felt like the sponge was flaking, and bits were coming off, as you can see on the bottom of the base there, and that's because bits were coming off. So yeah, obviously doing this technique, you would do it on a miniature with lots of detail, so there would be lots of like nooks, crannies, but obviously sharp bits. And as you can see, it has taken off quite a lot of the sponge. So yeah, I wasn't enjoying it. It didn't like what was going on. It was getting messy because it was flaking. Again, guys, this could be me just doing it wrong. But yeah, I'm going back to my nibbly knobbly bits, dry brush. I may give it another go. I might have to watch some more videos in depth and see exactly what they did. Because I have to admit, I've not watched all the videos all the way through. All I've seen is people say, loads of people seem to be using makeup sponges. So I thought, yeah, we'll give it a go. Maybe I need to watch those videos a bit more in detail to see exactly what it is they're doing, because clearly, yeah, I wasn't. So he's dry brushed in the yellow, but I wanted to add a few sort of lighter areas. So I've got a bit of white here, and I'm just going to go over and just get a few areas here and there. Again, it just adds that little bit extra when you come to paint it with the final colour. You get a lot more contrast in the colours. I know that obviously the speed paints, dip inks, and all that lot, they work really well on their own. I mean, I could have just painted this guy white and then gone over with speed paints, and yeah, it would have been a half decent job, that's for sure. But doing this under shading or whatever it's called, it definitely does add more depth to the character. Although to be honest, I really like how he's coming out and looking like this. Obviously, the yellow over the purple has got a little bit of a hue of green in it anyway. So his shoulder pad, yeah, I'm doing a lot more sort of white with that, because obviously that's going to be, well, completely different from him. But again, I love how his characters come out. Both obviously the look of the model and the print. The print quality is just awesome. So this is why obviously I love orcs in general, because they are normally beefy, muscular people. And the Hulk, well, he's green and he's definitely sort of muscular. So typically what I have tried to do in the past, whenever I've done a miniature with obviously the old veins popping through, and that is I've coloured the veins afterwards, after I've painted the actual miniature in whatever colour I'm going to paint them. But typically whenever I do that, the veins look too, I don't know, too weird, because they look too much of whatever colour it is I painted them, and they look, yeah, they don't look right. So for a change, I thought I'd have a go at painting the veins underneath. Again, this is where it is the case of trying out things. Sometimes we'll do something and we'll think, nah, that's a dog's dinner, never gonna do that again. But other times we can try something and go, oh, it's come out really well. I'll be doing that more often. So yeah, again, for a change, I thought I would do the veins underneath. And again, I know sometimes veins are sort of purpley in colour, but I thought I'd do mine orange just because, well, just because. But now, yeah, so he's pretty much done now, as opposed to sort of the undercoating. Now it is a case of, well, painting the final colours. You've seen there, yeah, his nipples, I've done them white. Again, just because I want them to look a little bit different to the rest of him. So obviously this guy will be green because, well, I just love doing green in the orcs. But yeah, so there's not many colours to this guy. Just his green of his main body, Obviously, as you can see here, I'm going to do black for the hair, but I'm also going to do black over the sort of pauldron here. That will get a dry brushing in silver, but I'm going to give it a dark sort of black look initially. I have done some pauldrons and just painted them straight on silver, but then they don't look sort of, well, aged enough. So I always find if you want something to look really aged, yeah, paint it in black first. Obviously, if it's going to be silver, that is. Paint it in black first, and then do a bit of dry brushing with the silver afterwards, and that will look just good. But while that black's drying, yeah, green. This is where obviously I say this all the time. Army painter speed paints. I've got about 18 different greens to choose from. That being said, I have got my top 5. So if you were to watch all my videos where I painted orcs or well anything in green, I guess, yeah, typically, even though I always say I've got 18 greens to choose from, the chances are it will always be one of 5 that are definitely my favourite. And I guess this is a weird, funny thing. The only green I'll probably never use to paint any orcs, and that is orc green, just because I don't like how it comes out. And that's say this dude. I mean, obviously some of the bits are still wet. 'Cause I literally have just finished painting them, then they're drying. But I love how the skin has come out. And I say there is so much contrast in the skin. Again, this is where I love painting now. Because if I'd painted this, say 4 years ago, again, guys, if you want to see something funny, go and look at some of my old videos, and you'll just constantly hear me saying I hate painting. I hate painting miniatures. Obviously, how things change, but I absolutely love it now. But that's because when I painted this, if I painted this 4 years ago, I would have painted it like a solid green, then tried to do something with it, which would be made a right old mess. And in the end, I would just chuck a wash over the top. And yeah, it would look messy. It wouldn't look good. The skin colours would look naff. I can't say how bad it would look. Whereas now, say simply by doing this undershading, dry brushing, whatever it is, slap chop, yeah, the difference it can make. And say his skin, it's one of those ones you really want to look closely. Generally, when I do miniatures, they look better from afar. But this dude, the more you get into him, the more you look closely at him, the better he looks. And I say his skin, there's so many sort of variations there. And I think that is because obviously doing the dry brushing with the yellow and a little bit of white definitely has given him, say, there's more contrasts in that green that I've gone over the top with. Anyway, enough waffling on about that. Yeah, last couple of little bits to do. I've started now making their lips a pinkier colour. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't because I can sort of put too much on. This is where I probably should maybe even water down the speed paint even more so it is more sort of translucent. I mean, I try and put it on as thin as I can, but you'll see when it dries, yeah, his lips do look like he's almost puckering up because they are, well, they're quite noticeable. Although I still like the look of him. So there we go. And there we go. That's his lips done. Painted his teeth as well. Obviously, his eyes have got a bit of white in there. And now, say, just to make his pauldron look a little bit more dirty down and all the rest of it. Yeah, good old wash. I say this wash is just a combination of all the washes I had left over. I kind of put them all in this one bottle. So some of it was Agrax Earthshade. Some of it was the black wash that I made in a recent video, which is why it's all frothy because of the washing up liquid, and yeah, all kinds of other stuff. So I finished off by finishing off the base there in the purple, just sort of tidied it all up, and yeah, did his tongue and his eyes. Yeah, eyes. I'm no good at doing eyes, which is why I couldn't video myself doing that because I literally have to have this model within about a foot of my face to even attempt the eyes. But yeah, absolutely love how this chap has come out. I say the skin, yeah, I couldn't be more pleased with the skin if I'd got a proper painter to paint it for me. Love how it's come out. And I say the fact that it was so simple, so quick, so easy. Obviously, once I ditched the makeup brush, although I may need to try that again. And yeah, love the print. Say the Halo X1 printer has done awesomely here. The fact that, say, the supports. Honestly, guys, when I first did the supports, I was concerned about that huge area that didn't have any supports, and the fact that this guy, yeah, he does weigh a reasonable amount. Say he is solid resin. But yeah, love how he's come out. Love the look of him. So, guys, any suggestions for what you want to see me try? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, this makeup sponge yeah, let me know, what did I do wrong? I mean, I am going to go and watch some other videos. I will give it another go because obviously I'm sure it was me that messed up here. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that great stuff. Check out all the links down below. See you in the next one. Bye for now.